So we're looking at the sine law here. So the sine law is applied to triangles that are not right triangles. Remember, when we had right triangles, we would use sine, cosine, and tangent using our opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. However, since we don't have a right angle here, we don't really have a hypotenuse to be speaking of. So in this case, we're going to be applying what's called our sine law. Okay? So by convention, angles are represented with capital letters. So as you can see, capital D, capital E, capital F. And side lengths are represented with lowercase letters. Okay? So in this case, you've got, this is capital D, then across from it will be lowercase d. Okay? This is capital E, so the side that's across from capital E would be lowercase e. This is capital F, so the side that's across from capital F would be lowercase f. Okay? So now, the first thing I notice here is that I'm given my sine law, which is written like this in your textbook. So A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. I notice that I don't have triangle ABC here. I actually have triangle DEF, but the law still takes the same format. So it would be D over sine D equals E over sine E equals F over sine F. Taking note that my numerators are the side lengths, my denominators are the sine of the angles. Okay? But if you get on a test and you can't remember which one goes on top, whether it's the side length or the angle, it doesn't really matter. I could write it like this as well, and when I go to cross multiply, I still end up with the same answer, actually. Okay? So I'm actually going to take this form and use to solve this one. So I'm just going to write this down again over here. So as you can see, I've got, move it up so you can see it, D over sine D equals E over sine E equals F over sine F, right? Okay? Now, in this triangle up here, I'm going to take note of what I'm given, okay? Do I know what, I'm going to fill in what I know. Do I know what lowercase d is here? Well, lowercase d is right here. I don't know how long it is, so I'm just going to leave that blank as is. Okay? Angle D, I know is a 65-degree angle, though, so I could write that as lowercase d over sine 65. Okay? Now I look at E. Well, do I know what lowercase e is, and do I know what uppercase e is? Well, lowercase e is right here. I don't know how long that is. Uppercase e is right here. I do know that that is an 80-degree angle. So I don't know lowercase e, but I know uppercase e is an 80-degree angle. So I could write that as lowercase e over sine of 80. Okay? Now I look at my f fraction, so f over sine f. I do know what lowercase f is. It's 2.5 here. In the example, I'm actually not given what this angle here is. I'm not given this 35-degree angle here, but I do know that all of these angles add up to 180 degrees, and these two here add up to 145. So 145 and the remainder to make 180 would be this angle here, so a 35-degree angle right there. Okay? So for my f, I know that little f is 2.5 and big F is 35. So I've got 2.5 over sine 35. Okay? Now, I've got these three fractions here. In the problem, I'm trying to find out what lowercase e is. So that means I have to use this fraction here. I have to use the fraction that has what I want to find. Makes sense? I can't find it if I don't use the fraction that has it. The other fraction that I use has to have the numerator and the denominator, where I know both of the numbers, which would be this one right here. Because if you think for a second, if I use these two fractions, d and d, when I go to cross multiply, I don't know what d is and I don't know what e is, so I'm not going to be able to find out what just one of them will be that way. So I need to take these two fractions and then I will cross multiply them. Okay? So I'm going to write those two fractions down here. This actually looks very similar to what you did in, what you've done before, because I can write this now. I can punch that in my calculator, sine 80 degrees, and I can punch sine 35 in my calculator, and I'm going to replace. So sine 80 is 0.985. I usually recommend keeping 3 or 4 decimal places. Sine 35 is 0.574. So then I can cross multiply. So in this case, this is going to be 2.5 times 0.985. Whatever my answer is, divided by 0.574. Okay? And punching that in my calculator gives me approximately 4.29. Okay, so let's look at another example. So this one right here. So as you can see, I've got triangle ABC in this case. So when I label my triangle, if I've got capital A right here, that means lowercase a is over here. Capital B right here, lowercase b right here. Capital C right here, lowercase c right here. Okay? Another thing you might notice is I've got these two angles, so I can find this one similarly. So 102 plus 43 gives me 145. So 180 minus 145 tells me that this is a 35-degree angle. Okay? Now I'm going to write my sine law. Since I'm using triangle ABC now, it's going to be A over sine A equals B over sine B equals C over sine C. Okay? Now I fill in what I know. Do I know what little a is? Well, little a is right here. That's actually what I'm trying to find in this question, so no, I don't know what that is. Angle A, though, I do know is a 43-degree angle, so I could write this as A over sine 43. Okay. Lowercase b, well, it's right here. I don't know what that is. I do know that angle B is 102 degrees, so likewise I can fill in B. I don't know the numerator, but I can write the denominator as sine 102. For C, I actually do know what lowercase c is. It's 14, and capital C is 35-degree angle, so that tells me that for this I can write as 14 over sine 35. Okay. At this point, I can say, okay, I'm trying to find lowercase a, so I need to use this fraction here with a. And then, since I know the numerator and the denominator here, I need to use this fraction here. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite those down here. So a over sine 43 equals 14 over sine 35. I can punch sine 43 in my calculator. I can punch sine 35 in my calculator. So that would give me this. And of course, then I just cross multiply. So a in this case is going to be equal to 14 times 0.682. And then whatever my answer is, I divide by 0.574, which gives me approximately 16.6. Okay?